So hard, so I can be what you're coming to be. I wanna talk like you, I wanna walk like you, I even wanna act like you. Ain't no cap, it's the truth.
Hello, everybody. Hello, how's everybody doing? This is Pat.
This is Randy.
And we welcome you to Straight from the Heart.
Yes.
We have missed you guys. We were not able to be with you last week due to technical difficulty. And we had a very, very special guest that was slated to be with us. But as you know, technology, we weren't able to get him through. And that is none other Elder Tim Wellington. And so he will be joining us at a later time. But just wanted to come on because we know that we have committed to coming to you each Saturday. But as you all know, life is about change, and changes do exist. And so we have kind of tossed to the back and forth and pondered on it, on what would be the best possible
solution to this
and
dilemma.
So we have, for right now, for the month of September, we are going to be coming on bi-weekly. So we will be with you this week, and then next week we will not, and then we'll come back the following week. And this is just for September right now because we are dealing with a lot of family issues. As you all know, my mother is in the hospital, and so we have to give our attention to something more weightier. And so we know you understand and you're praying for us. And so with that being said, we will not be on next Saturday. And it breaks my heart, but you know us. You know that we love you all very much. And so just wanted to put that out there. But let's get ready for a great show today. I'm so excited to be here on today. And I asked Randy, I said, when we think about life and different things that are going on, that oftentimes because of interruptions or things that you don't expect, some of us have missed opportunities. And I'm kind of talking about that on Wednesday evenings with an awesome group of women that have joined us, and we're talking about opportunity. And so thank you, Delphine. Thank you so much. Hello, Tanetta. We were talking about you last night, how dynamic you are, Tanette. Yes, and so we just wanted to kind of stick there. That's something that's been in my spirit, opportunity, because so often when we have opportunities, we will, if we're not careful, we'll feel as though we've missed opportunities. And I just believe an opportunity is kind of like seasons. Seasons come and go, but they always come back around. And so I just believe that when the door shuts, it's an opportunity for another door to open. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about opportunities and define what opportunity really is. Many of us have more than we can do anyway already, but we're always looking for opportunity to do more or to be better at what we're already doing. And so when we think about opportunity, it is a combination of circumstances that are favorable for purpose, for a fit time or a special occasion, or a good chance for someone to advance themselves. And so opportunity is an occasion or a time for someone to advance themselves, and does not mean that it will not come back around, because it is. So we want to just talk about opportunity. I realize that opportunity a lot of times is a time for us to put forth our best efforts, to do what it is and to add value to other people as well as ourselves. And so you want to throw something in about opportunity?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I'm hearing what you say. I'm thinking about that, and opportunities. I'm hoping that they come back around. But I think that a lot of times when we're going through life, that when an opportunity presents itself, you have to seize the moment. You really have to seize the moment and to go with it. I think because a lot of times, and recognizing opportunity, recognizing that this is opportunity to do something that's something, because sometimes you think about certain things and then somebody will put something before you, or a situation will come, something will come before you that can propel you into a new direction. And sometimes we are fearful that we don't seize the moment. We don't take advantage of the opportunity. And then as we move on, we look back and we think, dang, I could have did such and such when that happened, but you don't. And that's the thing I think that we have to recognize, as sometimes things happen and you really truly have to seize the moment. I think that's very important, because now that's where I was kind of contemplating now when you said that they always come back around. I don't know if they always come back around, they may, but it may be disguised as something else, or it may not be the same type of opportunity, and when you miss opportunity sometimes, because I think that and I think about some of the prophecies that have been prophesied to certain individuals about the way things should be, and what their achievements and where God is taking them or something. Then I think that sometimes when you hear them, that you have to grab that. I think you have to grab that. I hear what you're saying. So I think you have to grab that, and you have to take advantage of those things and realize that this is meant for you to do something, to step forward, to launch forward, and that you don't always have to be like, we think we need to be prepared, but I don't think you can always prepare for that. I think that when it comes, you have to seize the moment and then to move forward, because sometimes you don't know what it is.
And sometimes opportunity also is not always you receiving. Sometimes it's the greatest chance for you to get. Oftentimes we want to always be on the end where we're receiving, but that's not always the best opportunity. I'm very cognizant of the fact that you don't always, when opportunity presents itself, it's not always a chance for you to receive, but the greatest opportunity is when you can give back, when you can be a blessing to someone else, and you can encourage someone else. And that has been the greatest fulfillment for me, is to see other individuals blessed. That's kind of how the Transition House existed. We are believing this is going to be an opportunity to be a blessing to other women, that maybe I haven't been down the road that they've encountered, but I've probably addressed many issues that they've dealt with. But nevertheless, it's an opportunity to give back. And so when opportunity knocks, realize that you're not always going to be compensated for. No. I shared that with the group on Wednesday, that sometimes you have to do things per bono. You have to do things not always expecting to be compensated, because one that I've learned, you never know where your gold mine is at. You never know who's watching. You never know who's waiting to be a blessing to you. And everything is not monetary. No. There may be other opportunities, other doors that are opening for the door that's already open. And so always be open to walk through the door when God allows that door to open for you. And then how do you respond when opportunity presents itself? How do you respond to it?
I respond. I try to relish the opportunity, even to witness to someone, even to encourage somebody, and even for a moment to be able to teach or allow someone to, and gives a bit of knowledge or we share some wisdom or something, experience that I've had that maybe someone can glean from. I think that's important. And I think that sometimes the opportunity to give, just to be a blessing to someone, I think that's how you receive, because the more you give, the more you receive. And I think that just giving of yourself, of your time, your energy, and being a blessing to someone, is a gift even for you, because it warms your heart. I think it gives you a different kind of feeling, and so I look forward to accepting those, and I always try to seize the moment, and then I have to evaluate whether
Mhm.
this is a good opportunity and whether how someone is going to receive it, because sometimes you have to look at the situation, and as you're doing it,
Yeah.
you need to evaluate what is going to be the outcome after this.
Yeah. And, someone put in the chat an opportunity that maybe you had that you pondered over it. You didn't know if it was the right time, but by faith, you attempted to do it. Someone put in the chat that would like to share. Maybe there was something, or maybe there is something that you desire to do. An opportunity has presented itself, but for whatever reason, you have steered away from it.
Mm.
You have steered away from it. Hello, David. Hello, Shyla. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Margaret Campbell, God bless you. Oftentimes, opportunity, when you think about opportunity, there's always I believe opportunity is always a room for change. Change, growth. Yes, I like that. Growth. That is key. When you think about opportunity, it evolves, and that's why it's so important that you go back and you evaluate before you just jump in head first, because everything is not for right now. And I think that's kind of the gist of where we wanted to go today, is that even though opportunities present itself, it may not be for right now. And so some people have become very discouraged because it didn't happen right away, and so maybe it's not for right now. God may give you a thought and you work on it and you make strides to arriving there. But with anything, time and preparation is key. I believe that.
And sometimes I think that when opportunity presents itself, is you're right. It's not always for that time, but because sometimes we're not prepared to really grasp it, and we're not prepared to accelerate and go forward in this. And so there's a little grooming or some tweaking that needs to be done, And so when God puts something before you, sometimes you're not ready for it, and you have to work yourself into that situation. So
exactly. And a lot of times, our attitude, I believe this. Ooh. Our attitude often, attitude. I believe that it also determines our altitude. Sometimes you can have the wrong attitude and feel as though that I should have it, or I should be doing it right now, but that's not always the case. And so I do believe that the right attitude precedes the right opportunities. In order to really tap into the opportunities that you desire, your attitude must be on point. Anybody ever dealt with somebody and their attitude was just off? And you're looking at them and they're in a very prestigious role and doing things, and you're wondering, how in the world did they get here? How did they land? Why are they even operating in this vein? And they have the nastiest attitude. Well, oftentimes in success, we have to have the right attitude in order to go forth when opportunities present itself. Because if you're not, it'll show. I believe that it shows when your attitude is off and it's not on the same level as the opportunity that's been presented to you. Yeah. And so you want to kind of,
I think, and God uses everybody. So sometimes he uses people in roles where, so that to help someone else to glean from that, so that they can realize that this is not the person that they want to be. This is not the way that they feel like they should operate. And so I think those things happen because that's a learning tool for someone else. You know what I mean? So, but I think gratitude, being thankful for whatever it is that you have, for whatever it is that you're able to do, is being thankful for small things. It helps you to be able to accept the greater that is later.
I like something you said when we first started, and I don't think you were even in the class on Wednesday, but you talked about seizing the opportunity. And John Maxwell puts it on this wise. He said, opportunities do not multiply because they are seen, but opportunities multiply because they are seized. What are we talking about? We're talking about when many opportunities, leaders have the ability to see them, but they only have a few that are bold enough to seize them. So seeing them and not going after it, or not allowing it to take root in what it is that you desire to do, and you only seeing it. You know, we often say that a goal without a deadline is just a plan. Because if you don't have a deadline when you initiate that goal, then it's just a plan and it can easily get lost. The same thing with an opportunity. You have to, when it comes to opportunities, you have to have the ability to see them and seize them at the same time. And then you move from that, realizing it's not an overnight task. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes time to train yourself to anticipate that opportunity. And the same anticipation that it took for you to see it and then to eventually seize it, and realizing that it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You cannot live with a sense of urgency all the time that I got to have it right now. It may not be for right now. When I think about it, I think about how we had the home, transition home, for 18 years. And as much as we wanted to complete it way years ago, the opportunity to present itself because there were other things that were coming up.
But I think it was a time for growth because I think we had several other things that were on the plate and we were trying to do.
Yes.
And the thought kept shifting about where it was that we wanted to go with it. But as we move forward, you know, I think that with the transition home and then other things that we have on the table for the future, I think that that's how that matured because it happened when it was supposed to happen.
Yes.
You know.
And then, you know, a lot of times we say, oh, well, I don't have this. I don't have A. I don't have B. I don't have C. But do you not know that opportunity is about taking risks? That sometimes you have to take a risk. It's risky business. You jump out there and you're like, how in the world did I get here? But when you take a risk, because you have to realize everything is about risk sometimes. There are things that we never probably dreamed of that we would be where we're at today if we didn't take a risk. And so it's risky business. But in order to get from point A to B, you have to sometimes take a risk and realize that nothing beats a failure but a try. And as I stated before, John Maxwell has a plethora of books, but one that I really love is Failing Forward. Even if you fail forward. You go after it and don't allow that dream, don't allow that untapped potential to lie dormant inside you, but go after it and realize that if I fail at it, I have another opportunity to do it again. Isn't that good news that you, even though you may fail, you can do it again. You can start over. And maybe the way you were going about it the first time wasn't the exact way that you were supposed to go. So now you have a chance to rethink it, recalibrate, and go back and try it again. Isn't that something?
That's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And I think that, you know, when I look at it this kind of this wise, when it's inspired, when you get the inspiration to do something, you don't always need all the tools. You don't always need all the things. Sometimes, you know, like when you're doing a job, the right tools makes the job easy. But sometimes when you are, when God gives you inspiration to do something and you are trying to move forward, then all the things that you need will fall in place. You can't think that you can't do it because you don't have this, or you don't have this person, you don't have this vehicle, or you don't have this certain thing that you know is you feel like it's required. But I think when you are inspired to do something, I think that you seize the moment and you go after it.
Exactly.
You move forward.
And then you choose what is right, even when the return is not guaranteed. You still have to choose what is right. You have to go into it realizing that one of the principles in leadership is kind of like the reaping and the sowing. You know what I'm saying? You always pursue what is right, and opportunities will present themselves for that moment for you to seize whatever it is that you really desire to do. And so when you do it and you have the right attitude about it and you're trying to do it the right way, that will create that, I believe it will bring things together, opposed to you out there and just kind of floating along and not knowing which direction you're going. So there's some things that Summer said, well, how do I evaluate opportunity? How do I know when opportunity is presented itself? There's a thing such as the Murphy's Law, and I know you're familiar with that. The Murphy's Law. What could possibly go wrong? Am I willing to accept the consequences if it does? That's Murphy's Law. Anything could happen. Anything could go wrong. The question is not whether there will be problems. It's how serious will they be? And so you got to learn how to keep moving.
You have to meet those challenges.
Yes.
And keep pressing forward. And I think that a lot of times when we're doing things, you can't look for the outcome or for the reward, is because, I think when you add value to people, you add value to them, then adding value to anything, to any situation, to any person,
you're kind of open for it.
You kind of open for it, and that gives you the opportunity to receive. Because when you add value to someone, then it makes you valuable to them, and maybe
even anticipating that there may be something that come up. And that's why I think that you always have to make room. It's like I always feel like you have to make room to grow, and that's when you're working on projects. Not that we want things to happen, but in the event that it does, you anticipate that something could go wrong. So you already have geared your mind to not fall apart and not abandon the opportunity, because as we sing in the church, trouble don't last always. It may not last forever, but sometimes I believe this, that opposition is an opportunity for God to get the glory. And sometimes there may be opposition that will prevent you from moving and in a continuous state. But realize that it's also an opportunity for God to be glorified in whatever circumstance it is. And so there is nothing that can stop you but you. You're the only one that can stop you from obtaining your goals. I like what you said, Delphine. You got to press, and keep pressing, and sometimes in pressing, we become weary. Sometimes in pressing, we become doubtful. Sometimes in pressing, we feel like giving up. But giving up is not an option. You have to keep going.
You do.
You have to keep going.
And I think, we do things with it, just we're not doing everything with expectation of reward, because the reward is not, sometimes it's just not financial. It is, it's a blessing in your spirit, in how you feel, and just rewarding to even your family, friends, or loved ones, and just showing that, the kind of person that you are. I think that's one of the goals in my life, is that as I do things not out of love and compassion. And I do it because this is just me. That's what I do. Whether I'm rewarded or not, whether you give it back or not, I'm still good with that.
And even in that's good what you just said. Not looking to be rewarded, although we like to be.
We like
reward incentives are great.
Ain't nothing wrong with
they
that.
Motivate you. They keep you going. I don't mind. If I done something good and you tell me, hey, you take the credit card and go shop, girl, or go do what you want to do, or go take a trip. We ain't taking many trips now. Actually, we're scheduled today. We were supposed to be right now in Cancun, but there was
but there was a blessing in that.
Okay. What was the blessing?
There was a blessing in that.
Look, well, my mom got sick, so I know you ain't talking about that. So what the part you talking about? Because I'd have missed this one. I need to know what the blessing was. Well, the blessing is she's still here.
She's still here.
Yes.
And she's healing, because,
yes, that's the greatest. Yes.
So
I was thinking he was talking about I was getting ready to get something.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
I wasn't thinking right.
But you still get the vacation, because actually I forgot that I had bought one, so I got the money back from the first one, and I still got one. So we
have two vacations.
Yeah. So it
now the ultimate decision is, when do we take them? But that's a long story.
Yes, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Now y'all see how his voice went up 2 octaves when he said that he's ready to go on vacation.
Oh, I sure am. I look forward to vacation. I think that's one of the most pleasant. And I was just on YouTube looking at some travelers, and they were showing me Punta Cana and Curacao.
Okay.
And so I'm really looking forward to Dominican Republic and Curacao. So I think that's going to be on my bucket list.
On your radar.
Yeah. Oh, because the water was so clear. It was unbelievable. Yes, it was
all right. So he's in vacation mode.
Yes,
and we're talking about opportunity. So his opportunity is, when do we go on vacation?
That is an opportunity to relax.
So one of the opportunities is the deadline test. When do you make the right decision to take the vacation? No, but really, when do you make the right decision in your opportunity? And so I believe that opportunity will present itself, and most of the time, when it does, it's the right time. It's the right time. Hello, Bertha. We're glad you joined us. And so we just want to encourage someone that don't get discouraged if you feel as though the opportunity has passed you by, because it has not.
No.
Opportunity will present itself again, and then you'll be able to go in, and maybe the way that you anticipated doing it the first time, God may give it to you different the second time, or the third time. Some of you may be on your 4th time, but whatever time it is, just know that when it comes back around, you have given thought to it, and maybe you may even want to address it in a different way.
You'll be ready. Hopefully you'll be ready to seize the opportunity and to move forward, to grow forward.
Yes. So thank you for joining us. We hope that something was said to encourage you. Thank you, Margaret Campbell. Thank you, Shyla. Yeah. Tim Wellington.
Yeah.
Tim, we're coming to get you.
Yeah, that was our special guest.
Tim
we
Wellington.
Were looking forward to
we texted you, we called you. Yeah. But Tim, that means that not next week, the following week, Tim, I need you to check your calendar.
Second week.
And what I love about Tim, he's not one of those people that tell you, I'll get back with you. I have to check my calendar. He checks his calendar right then. So Tim, I know you're checking that calendar right now. So I want you to put it in the chat that you will be able to join us, not next Saturday, which will be September the 4th, but the following Saturday. And what Tim say, sorry, working outside. You're okay, Tim. But next Saturday, if you all are able and willing, I need you all to pray for my mother. Her birthday is September 1st, and we initially had planned a surprise 80th birthday for her.
Wow.
And unfortunately, her condition got worse, and she was rushed to the hospital and had surgery. And so she is now in the rehabilitation hospital. And we are believing God that He is going to expedite her healing, and she'll be able to be home. And so we want to celebrate her. It's her 80th.
Yeah.
So I ask that you pray with us, pray for my mother. And I just believe God can do anything. The opportunity presented itself. And so guess what? That means we're taking up the notch, and we're up in the ante in prayer and believing God for a miracle. And so we need you. We appreciate you. It's so good to see you on here, Adrian Trotter, my little sister from Zion Tabernacle. Right. Good to see you. And Tim, you're going to let us know. So not next Saturday, but the following Saturday, which would be September 11th, if I'm not mistaken, September 11th. I'm pretty good with the calendar, because guess what? September 11th, I'm actually supposed to be in North Carolina. But So
what are we doing about
listen out. He said, yes, I'll be available September 11th. And we believe God for a miracle for your mother. Thank you, Tim. You know I love you. Tim, I need to talk to you, because there is a young lady that is in the process of opening up a transitional home. It's a beautiful home. And all things work together for the good because I intended to invite her to join us today because she wanted to jump on and kind of get some direction in where she wanted to land. And I was thinking today would have been a great segment for her to ask some questions. But when I couldn't get you, Tim, I did not invite her to come. So all things work together for the good because when we come back on the 11th, we will make sure that she is a part and that she can get the help that she needs. But in the meantime, I'm going to reach out to you because maybe it would be great if you and I can dialogue with her prior to September 11th. But know that we love you all very, very much. We appreciate you for joining us. And as always, straight from the Germany's heart to your heart, we love you so much. Have a beautiful Saturday and do something fun. Do something fun. It's hot outside, but do something fun. What are we going to do fun?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know.
Something. But it's hot outside. So,
well, we'll find something fun to do. We're going to sit on the deck. All right. We love you. We love you. Shyla, come over, sit on the deck with us, Shyla.
Yes. Okay.
All right. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you for joining us.
Gotta want your heart surgery. Gotta need your heart so I can be what you're coming to be. I wanna talk like you. I wanna walk like you. I even wanna act like you.